Welcome back to the best division in football with Awthentik and the Beard, presented by All or Nothing Studios. What's up, team? Thanks for tuning in to our Tuesday recap show. It's going to be a quick one for you. We know we got football tonight on a Tuesday. It's ridiculous. It's crazy, but I'm loving it. We got 3 recaps from last weekend to talk about for the NFC East. We're going to do a little bit of trivia. We're going to get you folks out of here so you can catch the end of that game. Let's bring in the fellas. What's going on, the Beard?
Just another day in paradise, man.
Amen.
You know, I'm just trying to figure out, how Dwayne Haskins, he just keeps holding back this offense, man. We didn't
quarterback ever.
Did you see how many yards we had this game? I just don't understand it.
It was ugly. It was ugly.
But yeah, it was a tough loss. It was good to see Alex Smith get back out there. Congratulations to him. It's unfortunate. Obviously, the Dak injury happening like the same day that somebody coming back from a crazy injury. It's
very
just
weird.
It was. I was messaging in our group chat about how it was crazy that this everything that happened on that Sunday was just like, it was weird. It was just, everything was weird. Like the Dolphins mollywopping the 49ers, then the Dak injury. Yeah, it was a whole lot that happened on Sunday. It was a crazy day.
Yeah, a lot of upsets. But I was telling you guys during the parlay, I was saying I was picking a lot of upsets. Awthentik, man, what's been up, dude? How you doing this week?
I'm chilling, man. Definitely a strange week of football, man. One of those you want to just kind of bury and not think about and just kind of go into next week. A lot of injuries, man. All these games being moved and the COVID situation around the NFL. It's all been pretty strange. Football-wise, I'm a little bit down. I can't even front. But music-wise, man, things are on the up and up. I did pretty much last listen of the album this morning, doing just some last-minute tweaks to some of these mixes, man, and trying to get ready for this listening party that I'm going to be doing on YouTube here. And I think we might have a date, man. I'm thinking about releasing this album on the 11th, right at the beginning of next year. We'll see. That's Mike Swan's birthday, too, so shout out to Mike Swan.
Would you have a listening party the same day the album's released?
Nah, I'm going to do that way before that. The listening party's hopefully going to happen here within the next month.
Oh, I'm looking for the invite, man.
Yeah, so I'll do an exclusive listening, and then that stream will come down. And if you want the album, you better bootleg it while I'm streaming.
Do what I got to do, man. I do what I got to do to get Awthentik's newest records. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get into the NFC East recaps. The first game we're going to talk about, Philadelphia Eagles. They fell to their in-state rivals. Maybe not rivals, but we'll say in-state neighbors. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Final score was 38-29. Pittsburgh, Wookiee wide receiver, Chase Claypool. He went vintage Al Bundy on Philadelphia's defense. He had 4 touchdowns, 3 receiving touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. Carson Wentz, I don't know. This dude just has to throw 2 interceptions every week. He must be indebted to the mob or something. He threw 2 more interceptions. Overall, he did have a good game. Philadelphia had a chance to kick a go-ahead field goal. It was 54 yards late in the fourth quarter. They missed a field goal. Claypool gets his 4th touchdown. He was getting covered by a linebacker. Total breakdown by Philly's defense. And that pretty much sealed the victory for the Steelers. Big Ben had another good game, 27-34, 239 yards, 3 touchdowns. And we got to talk about Philadelphia wide receiver Travis Fulgham. I didn't know how to pronounce his name last week, but now I do. He had 10 catches, 152 yards, and a touchdown. This is a Philly offense that doesn't really have a lot of standouts. So if you can do it in back-to-back weeks, that's impressive, especially against this Steelers defense. Awthentik, man, give me your feelings about the game and Philly. Is Philly done?
I don't think Philly's done just because we're in a dismal division here. And Philadelphia has shown you in the past, man, that they can start slow and finish out season strong and win divisions towards the end of the year. Everything is not clicking for them, and it's starting with Carson Wentz. You said it, man. 2 interceptions. It seems like he's had 2 interceptions in every game this year. But, nothing really else clicking over there. You need more than one weapon to win games in the NFL. You saw it with the Giants this past week, too, against Dallas, I feel like, with Darius Slayton being the only guy really making plays on the field. And here you got Travis Fulgham with the 10 catches, man, 152 yards and a touchdown. That's solid. I'm looking to scoop this guy up if somebody don't got him in our fantasy league. But I think the biggest smoke and mirror for Philadelphia here is the 80 yards on 11 carries by Miles Sanders. You get 71 yards on 1 carry. and you finish out the rest of the game on 10 carries for 9 yards, that's not productive, man. So really, you just seeing him on one drive. You got to have accountability being the starting running back over there. You come back healthy. We need to see better runs out of you. We need to see more average yards per carry, minus that one big run that he had. And I think that the Steelers, man, they really get it going with the kid Claypool. And I think that they're doing a lot of design plays for wide receivers. If you look at a lot of these throws that Big Ben has to make here, he doesn't even have to make the read, man. The 1-2-yard touchdown was like a quick bing right to the wide receiver to Claypool. He catches it. He's got 4 blockers out in front of him. You know, that was the first quarter one. In the second quarter, he had the 32-yard touchdown reception for a touchdown. In the third quarter, he's got the 5-yard touchdown on another design screen play. And then in the fourth quarter, he had a 32-yard reception to set up that field goal for them. So I like what I'm seeing out of Chase Claypool. Rookie, right? I mean, those are ridiculous numbers, man. Notre Dame, right, Tim?
Notre Dame, baby. Been telling y'all about that, boy.
And Notre Dame definitely breeds a lot of good players. You see a lot of tight ends in the NFL, and they're bringing people out of that school. You got to look for them in drafts. I like what the Steelers are doing, man, and maybe an early Super Bowl pick, man. I like the way Big Ben's playing. They had that 1 week off because of the reschedule on that game. I'm looking forward to see what they can do, man. I think Bud Dupree is one of the most solid defensive players in the league, and Steelers continue to have a good defense. Ain't nothing changed, man. The yellow towel was all over the place.
They had 5 more sacks. They were second in the league last week, which was a misleading stat because they had played 1 less game than the Philadelphia Eagles, who were the top team. But they had 5 more sacks, 1.5 from Stephon Tuitt, also an alum, Tim, the Beard. Notre Dame, baby. What'd you see in the game, the Beard, that stood out to you? Do you think the Eagles still have a shot this year? And are the Steelers a Super Bowl contender?
This is the thing. Anybody in NFC East has a shot to make the playoffs.
I gotta change the word of my question because you're right.
What it is there going to be a point in the season where one of these teams actually starts to like gain momentum on the big stage of the league and not necessarily just win the division? No, because right now, if you had to look at it, you're like, no matter who wins the division, they're going to lose in the first round, right?
They got a home playoff game.
I've been hearing a lot of people say that, but I don't think like that. If you make it to the playoffs, that's a whole new season. You saw Lamar Jackson sit down for week 1 with a bye and come out week 2 and take an L, right?
Yeah.
They were the best team in the league going into the playoffs. So I hear that in the media a lot. I stay away from that. I ain't gonna lie. Like, you make it to the playoffs, you got a chance. We've seen the Steelers do it. We've seen the Giants do it twice as a wild card. We've seen plenty of teams get there. Arizona Cardinals got there that one time as a wild card with Kurt Warner. You know, I've seen that a lot. So once you get in, you got a shot, man.
It's coming up in a trivia question too. So you guys,
any given Sunday, you have a chance. But the point is that if one of these teams doesn't like begin to change, you know, there's not going to be very good. That's the fact of the way that they're playing football right now.
Not a fact. A team could get into the playoffs right now from the NFC East, maybe at like 6-10. Let Dallas go in there and see somebody. Let Philly go in there and see somebody. They could upset somebody.
Yes,
it's not unheard of. So I'm just going off the strength of you saying that that's a fact, that they're going to go in there playing bad.
What I'm saying is it's a fact. I'm saying is that it's a fact that if they don't somehow begin to like emerge as a good football team, then you know they're not really a factor in the big scheme of things when it comes to the playoffs.
Get that dub, you get that dub, bro.
Because I'm not picking any NFC East team against the Seahawks or the Packers or any of those teams.
And we've seen it with NFC East teams before, man. Yo, Eli Manning went into Lambeau and beat them with the best quarterback in the league on the coldest day in Lambeau. How many people picked New York that year? Nobody. Got into the playoffs at 9-7, barely won a couple games at the end of the year. So all I'm saying is that when you get to them playoffs, it's a whole new ball game.
I'll give you that.
It's a whole new season.
I'll give you that.
Everything you did in the regular season doesn't matter. The Patriots won 19 games and lost in the Super Bowl. The 19 games they won preview don't matter.
I guess. But, Carson Wentz has to stop turning the ball over. That's one thing that's obvious.
I think the 2 interceptions are misleading because the last interception, his second one, was a Hail Mary at the end of the game when they needed to score, he
had a fumble too, right?
I don't know about the fumble, maybe. But he had a good game. I think Carson Wentz played well. I honestly do.
For a second there, you thought they was going to win. I mean, I was like, man,
They
Philly better
came
not
back.
get this win.
They've
And
done
look who
that
they
every
running
game,
against,
too.
man. That Pittsburgh Steelers team is no joke.
Yeah, they're
You looking at
unbelievable.
Philadelphia, probably everyone thinking they're in the bottom 5 or 6 of the teams in the league right now. And they go in there, it was at Pittsburgh. And they go in there and they only lose by a couple points. You know what I mean? They're there all the way to the end of the game, you know? Carson Wentz he's struggling, man. The interceptions look bad. But I think one thing I wanted to come into this show with was, especially for today, was that, you could do it sloppy. You could throw interceptions, win the game. People don't care. If Carson Wentz comes out and wins this game, I don't think nobody's complaining about his play.
That's exactly how Philly's done it the last couple of years. I mean, injuries, for whatever reason, this is like their 3rd year in a row. They've just been ravaged by injuries, especially when it comes to their skill players. But Carson Wentz, I mean, even though he's had his own injury issues, especially late in the season, he's been shown to drag this team to victories when they shouldn't. And that was almost a tough one for him on Sunday, no doubt about it.
And you look at the top 2 wide receivers he's thrown to with Ward and Fulgham. I mean, it's ridiculous that he's even having positive yards on offense, and he's actually moving this offense up and down the field. How many points did Pittsburgh put up on these fools?
A bunch.
It
38-29.
yeah.
You know, you can't win a game allowing 38 points. You can't. You just can't. And their defense came in pretty decent. You know, like you said, they led the league in sacks. They had 17 sacks coming into this game. You know, that's unacceptable to allow 38 points. And, Carson Wentz comes out, doesn't have a fantastic game. It reminds me of the Daniel Jones game, the 20 of 35 for 258. It's pretty decent. It probably shows you that he was throwing the ball away when the pressure was getting to him. But the 2 interceptions, that is a little bit ugly. And when you got a quarterback on the other end throwing 3 touchdowns for 239, 27 to 34, it's hard to win games like that.
I mean, he has to have like almost close to well, I'm exaggerating. He probably has like 15 turnovers already, right?
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, he's got 2 picks in each game, right?
2 picks in every game except for 1. So right there, that's 8. Probably has 9. I think he has 9 interceptions on the season, I believe.
There's too many holes. There's so many holes. Their offensive line, think about it like this. If Fulgham
4 touchdowns, 7 interceptions for Carson Wentz,
that's horrendous.
Yeah, it's bad.
Not many teams.
To my man Danny Dimes. It's crazy, man.
How many does he have? Turnovers total?
He's got 7 interceptions, and I want to say he's got 2 or 3 fumbles on the year, so he's pushing 10, probably about 10 turnovers.
I swear to God, I blinked my eyes on Sunday, and the Giants gave up 14 points. I don't even know how it happened.
Oh, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. I'm waiting to hear more about what the beer got to say about this Philly game and about Carson Wentz.
I mean, there's nothing more to say. I mean, he's not playing as good as he's capable of playing. I mean, but it's not all on him. It's we Awthentik and I were talking about before we went on air. Every single team in this division has not a couple of holes, but have multiple holes on their teams. We all are playing bad football one way or another.
Every team in the league, in my opinion, has holes on their team somewhere. It's how you scheme, against it. And Doug Peterson, he's a good coach. They have nothing. You can't name me a team in the NFL that would be anywhere near successful with their top 3 receivers down, top running back down, half the offensive line done for. Phillies, what they've dealt with injury-wise, they've been okay.
So
right. Yeah, they've been all right considering these injuries for 2 years. It's crazy.
They have nobody. That's what I mean. They have absolutely nobody out there right now.
What's up with Alshon Jeffrey? Is he supposed to come back at all this year?
That chick he was dating, Liz Frank, got him all messed up.
Does he still play football? Like, I don't think I've seen Alshon Jeffrey on a football field in years.
Nah, he's hurt, man. He's hurt. Deshaun Jackson hurt.
Don't forget last year. Was that last year or the year before? I can't remember, but Alshon Jeffrey came back off the injury, and the Eagles just started balling out of nowhere. And Alshon Jeffries was balling, and they made their run. I think he's the key piece to get. If he could get healthy, they could really start putting up the points that you expect from the Eagles on offense. And, maybe Carson Wentz stops turning the ball over so much.
And maybe Fulgham, man. I mean, if Fulgham can be that guy for Wentz, because if you've watched Zach Ertz, this is not the Zach Ertz of old, man. He looks slower. He's not getting open. I've seen him drop some balls, too.
Yeah. And Monique is right. He does have 9 interceptions because the 7 was before the 2 he threw on a Sunday. So he has 9 interceptions, 1 fumble, and 6 touchdowns now.
Yeah, that's crazy. What's up, Lax? What's up, Benjamin Noggle? And David, I'm feeling the same way. Like Alshon Jeffrey, is he even a person anymore? He's like, Fugate, who is this guy? I don't even know if he exists.
I know, man. His career has been derailed with them injuries. And the good thing about it is he's got to play through injury and make some plays too, because he never was a guy really predicated on speed. You know, he was more of a size wide receiver, possession, not to the traditional sense. But he was a guy who used his body to get in position to make plays.
So let me ask you this then. We talk about injuries, right? So do you have to put some sort of blame on the general manager for the Philadelphia Eagles for not building this team with more depth? Because
yeah, I mean,
everybody deals with injuries. You know what I'm saying?
But not really. The NFC, you know, this year has been a little bit particular, I feel like. And when I say not really, I'm talking about where like your whole core goes down. You know, the Giants normally don't deal with these kind of injuries, but I remember the one year when we lost Brandon Marshall, Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard in one game. And then the next game, you're looking at a bunch of bums coming off the practice squad to come in and actually take real game NFL reps. That's where Philadelphia is at right now. The Redskins are dealing with some injuries too, but I also think that the Redskins just didn't have the personnel, whereas Philadelphia had some personnel and now they're just all banged up. Thank God Miles Sanders got back healthy, but he's not balling out. But thank God he got back healthy, because you're looking at Carson Wentz having like literally no weapons to injury.
Yeah, you know? I mean, the thing is, when you have young guys like your draft picks that come in, you expect them to produce at a cheap contract level. When you pay the veterans to win now, the Alshon Jeffries, Deshaun Jackson, those type of guys, you need them to stay healthy. And all their old veterans, Jason Peters, Lane Johnson, all over the field, those old guys have just not stayed on the field for Philadelphia. You can't win if your veterans aren't producing, because those are your high-paid guys. So now he's out there with a bunch of like undrafted dudes and practice squad guys trying to make the most of it.
And trying to build chemistry too, you know, that's very difficult when you got those guys coming in who barely take reps. You trying to build chemistry with them. It's very tough. And they haven't had that injury that completely derailed their season quite yet, that's why I keep Philly still in the hunt. I mean, it's pretty early. They got that tie. They got a win underneath their arm. I think that they can make a couple runs, man. Yeah, the tie was that's big. And if you look at that, if they could have got a win there, that would have been really big for them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
facts.
But I think Philly's they're gonna Dallas is gonna be tough, man, with a backup quarterback, you know. And last we saw of Dalton, he was looking like Garbaggio, but Dallas got weapons over there, man. And Jalen Smith on defense, man, that dude's everywhere. If they could just get some more points, even more points, start putting up 45 on these teams, you know, how Green Bay was doing with Aaron Rodgers back in the day. I think Dallas is going to be in the mix there. And I think that the Philadelphia Eagles will be in the mix too. But the division's up for grabs, man. Like Giants at 0-5, we're only 2 games out. I'm still not quitting.
It's so crazy to think that. So, I mean, and we have the youngest teams, the Washington football team and the Giants. So if these guys start clicking out of nowhere, that'd be crazy if Washington won the division with 6 games or the Giants won with 6 games.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
That's what we're hoping for, right?
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
That's what we're here for. We're only here to talk about that. Talking about Washington football team, let's get into their recap. They fell to the visiting LA Rams. It was a score of 30-10. The debut of the Kyle Allen era in Washington. It started out pretty good. Scored a touchdown, first drive of the game. He was moving the ball, but the era only lasted about a little short of 2 quarters. Helmet-to-helmet hit, Jalen Ramsey. I mean, I think it was dirty, but he's worth every penny for doing it because Kyle Allen was looking good. A helmet-to-helmet hit. Kyle Allen comes out of the game. Welcome back to the NFL, Alex Smith. He already booked himself for comeback player of the year, just going out there. We all were worried about Alex Smith taking hits. He took hits. The Rams had 8 sacks total. They had 6 against Alex Smith, 2 more against Kyle Allen. So they were just like blitzing the Redskins off, or the Washington football team's offensive line. It was ugly all the way. Washington accumulated only 108 net yards of total offense. Alex Smith's stat line appeared more like a vintage Steph Curry game. He was 9 of 17 for 37 yards. So he really was under fire the whole game. It was nice to see him out there. It was nice to see he could take a hit, but didn't really do a lot for Washington. And Kyle Allen has already been named the starter for next week. So he is healthy after that helmet-to-helmet hit. The Beard Man, give me your thoughts on the game. Kyle Allen, Alex Smith, everything you saw.
Well, I guess, so let me start out by saying that, you know, there was definitely some things that Kyle Allen was doing that was better than Dwayne Haskins. Okay, like he definitely was. His decision making under pressure seemed to be better as far as like which direction to move once the pressure came to him, and that is obviously important. I thought before I get into the quarterback play, I thought the play calling of Scott Turner was poor. Like it just to me. After last week, I thought we were going to start seeing more of the run game, and it just wasn't there. There was no real run game. And I mean, obviously, you end up falling into this hole early on. It becomes more difficult. But still, even with those little things that Kyle Allen was doing, I think more so what was evident about this performance from the Washington football team, whether it be Alex Smith or whether it be Kyle Allen, is that Dwayne Haskins was not the reason why the offense was not doing well. The offense itself is the reason why they were not doing well. They just don't have the team to do big things. I mean, their offensive line is really, really, really bad.
Aaron Donald makes offensive lines look bad. They haven't played terribly this season. They had a very, very, very bad day. But continue. I don't want to hear about Haskins a lot, though, man. Give me some.
I'm not. I haven't said anything. That's all I'm saying. It's just that this is they've been bad all year long. The offensive line has been bad all year long. There's no. And this is why you keep wanting them to throw the ball downfield, but they can't throw the ball downfield. You know how many passes we had of more than 10 yards on Sunday? Attempts? 0. 2 attempts of a pass longer than 10 yards all day. It's just there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Okay. And the defense is just not the middle of the field. No matter who plays the Washington football team, they destroy us in the middle of the field.
Linebackers and safeties. Atrocious.
Yeah. Okay. Where's Cole Holcomb?
He's done, dude. He's doghouse. Ron Rivera doesn't like Cole Holcomb no more. He's not even seeing the field, man.
Well, I mean, I think he was hurt, but I mean, apparently he was supposed to be coming back. What about Sean Hamilton?
Sean Dion.
Where's Sean Hamilton? Where's he at?
Oh, you had it right, Sean Dion Hamilton. But no,
where's he at?
30 Thomas Davis is done. His career's over. I love the man. He's a fringe Hall of Famer. He's slow, and the fact that Jack Del Rio and Ron Rivera, 2 ex-linebackers, can't see that makes me question what's going on that sideline because he's getting killed by tight ends all over the field, in the middle of the field, like the Beard is saying. That's our problem spot.
Yeah, so like on defense, and I will say if I'm looking at some positives from this game, Montez Sweat from last year to this year is like night and day. That dude he's one of the best athletes on the field in that game on Sunday.
He looks like Julius Peppers.
The speed, yes, and the speed of him. Did you see that one play? Like we're getting mollywopped, and he came from all the way on the other side of the field and chased the running back down the sideline. You just don't see that from DMs.
After about a 25-yard pickup, he was definitely the only one hustling on that play too.
So like I always try to take away positives because I don't want to be negative. But that's definitely a positive. But it's so difficult because there's so many holes on this team right now, and so with Kyle Allen, the thing that was crazy was initially you thought it was the helmet to helmet was what knocked him out, like it was a concussion, but it wasn't. It was the arm, and then he got cleared to come back in, and Ron Rivera decided to stay with Alex Smith.
That was weird.
That was his decision, which is another head scratcher of a season of head scratching.
Yeah, but it was 2 minutes left before the half. I think he just saw something like, yo, we're not gonna move the ball at all today. Let's put him in. We already put Alex Smith in. Let's let him finish the game and see maybe you get some life. It's almost like a Hail Mary at halftime, if you ask me in that situation, because
facts.
Kyle Allen, he definitely took a shot. Granted, he wasn't held out the game for a concussion or nothing like that, but I bet you he was woozy off that hit.
For sure.
When they slow-moed his face going into the ground, I was like, whoa.
He went straight to the medical tent.
And he made a move when he first left the pocket that was so fire. I was like, yo, this kid got wheels. He got some little juke, some swag, and then Jalen Ramsey, man, that boy, Ramsey is like top cornerback in the league. I like the way 2 weeks in a row you see him make a hit like that. The hit that he had on Golden Tate last week, that's why they was fighting at the end of the game. You know what I'm saying? And then this hit on Kyle Allen this week, I mean, that dude, he's worth the money.
let's get serious. I mean, 15-yard penalty, personal foul penalty, but he completely snuffed out any chance that Washington was going to win this football game. I mean, as soon as Alex Smith came in the game, it was over. Because when Kyle Allen went out, it was still, what, 10-7? I mean, 13-7? We were kind of close. It wasn't a blowout yet. We were still in it.
It wasn't a blowout yet. You're right about that. It's tough, man. You know, Kyle Allen definitely, eye test, looks the best of the three quarterbacks. Alex Smith looks like his mind is the best, but the mobility has definitely suffered. And Alex Smith, not the most mobile guy, but definitely a guy who relies on his mobility to make certain throws. And being that when the pressure's coming in like that, he's not the kind of guy who just gets rid of the ball quick. He's not going to do the Eli Manning, Tom Brady thing. He's usually trying to make one step, then make a throw it away, maybe things like that. And being that he don't got the mobility, I mean, you saw it on a couple of those sacks where he like shoestring tackles knocking him down. He's almost making it out of the pocket and shoestring tackles breaking him down. And, you know, his instincts are probably telling him, I could get out of this. But that leg is just not quite, you know, what it used to be. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, big fella.
Yo, when Aaron Donald was on his back.
Aaron Donald.
That was a good test. That was
Awthentik and I kind of looked at it. His leg did a little movement when he had Aaron Donald on his back.
It definitely shimmied a little bit.
But you know that was, I think that's the main thing too, is I think he really just wanted to. He saw an opportunity to let Alex Smith finally get hit because he hadn't been hit in 2 years.
Yeah,
and he was hit. I mean, he had weight all over that leg. You know, he was getting. Crushed. I mean, the offense for the Washington football team is so bad on Sunday. I mean, how many total yards did we have? We barely cracked 100 yards.
Yeah, net yards, it was 107.
108 yards, yeah.
You take those sacks back.
That's what it's unfortunate, too, because
2.1 yards per play.
I would have liked to see Kyle Allen because like I said in the beginning, like you could definitely see that there was some things that he was doing and did and is capable of doing that was slightly better than Haskins. So like you're kind of like encouraged in a way and you want to be able to see what he can do. But at the same time, that's why it's weird. It's like the offense that Scott Turner calling in this game didn't look anything different than all the previous games that he's called so far this year. And because they were saying that they were going to be able to do more with the offense now because Kyle Allen was that quarterback.
You saw 2 quarters. I mean, you did see some stuff. Like
2 quarters, 10 points.
There was design runs that they would never call for Dwayne Haskins. Like that 8-yard touchdown run, that was an impressive run, bro. He's athletic.
It was, but I'm saying is that I wish I could have seen more so I could really understand what he is fully capable of doing. Because in reality, we still lost the game. Our offense still performed horribly. I mean, like those things are doesn't matter who's playing quarterback. Those are things that are still happening after you put in both other quarterbacks that everybody been wanting to see.
I mean, I do hear the reoccurring theme about the quarterback not really being able to uplift them to a win, but the objective is you got to put the best guys on the field.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, granted, in one position, he looks a lot better to me. I was talking with Troy, not our boy Troy we golf with, not Ipsy Troy, but another one of my homies, Troy, on Facebook about it. And he was like, yeah, you know, I think Haskins looks better than Kyle Allen. And I'm just like, I don't know what you're seeing there. You know, like I'm an eye test guy and I played that position. Kyle Allen did everything better than all the other quarterbacks. The one thing he did wrong is he let his instinct kick in on that play. He got knocked out because it was 3rd and 3. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
He's trying to get that last yard, and it's a bailout. He's just like hoping that maybe somebody misses a tackle. He sees the hit coming from the left from Jalen Ramsey. He knows it's coming. He tries to lower his head after making that shake. And, you know, unfortunately, he gets knocked out of the game trying to make a play because I think Kyle Allen does understand that, like, his NFL future is on the line here, and he's got to play well. So he's willing to do anything he can do to get out there and try to make that play. But it's really unfortunate. But I like what I saw out of the kid. And I don't think – here's the thing. This game doesn't change my opinion about how I felt about the Washington quarterbacks at all. This is how I felt about Kyle Allen going into this season, where I thought that he might have been at least an option to be a starter this year. You know, and it's the same way I felt about Josh Johnson that year that y'all tried to start Mark Sanchez.
We started both.
Josh Johnson was clearly the better quarterback.
Yeah. Wow,
I understand he was coming off the streets and all that, but he was the better quarterback. But it's politics in this. You know what I mean? So it's like
system.
You know that the organization, the first 4 games, is probably telling Rivera, like, yeah, we're going with Haskins. You know that. You saw that in New York. I love to make comparisons to my team because I know my team. I know my team well. And you saw that exact same thing with Eli Manning and John Mara. They were like, yo, we're going to bring in Pat Shurmur. But look, Eli Manning is the guy. I don't care. And they were talking about Ben McAdoo could have drafted Patrick Mahomes, and we didn't do it. And you see Kansas City traded up to get him, and they weren't a terrible team. They didn't have no high draft pick or low draft pick.
Did you guys have a draft pick ahead of Mahomes?
Yeah.
Who'd you take?
I want to say that's Saquon year, ain't it?
Oh, you guys were okay. You were way up there.
If it's not the Saquon year, it's the year after that, right?
Or a year before that.
2017, wasn't it? When
2017 is who did we take before that? That's not Evan Ingram. But yeah, we had a chance to get him. I know that.
I think everybody did, really.
100%. Because he got picked like what, early second round or late first round?
Late first round. Mid to late first round.
You know, and we had that opportunity to get him. But the thing is that the Giants weren't, this is my point about all of that. Forget that. The point is the Giants were invested in Eli Manning, so they didn't draft a quarterback, you know? And that you see how it is. So when you have an organization saying we need this quarterback to play, it's hard for the coach. The coach can't say, well, really, I want to have Josh Allen play. But don't you think Ron Rivera kind of said that without saying that?
There's no doubt about it. And now, I mean, the more you look into it, and with the 2020 vision we have, looking back, retrospect, I guess you call it, you could tell that Haskins was never his guy. It was only a matter of time. He was going to get benched. The beard, though, I got to mention real quick a comment. I got to ask you a question based on a comment. Lax was talking about Landon Collins. I think this dude's a bum at safety. Watching him play, watching Abke play, do you think Landon Collins could like move down to linebacker maybe? And then because we have a depth at D-line and we have a depth at cornerback. Fabian Moreau's not seeing the field right now. It's not because he's played bad. It's because Darby is balling out and Kendall Fuller's balling out. So if we can move one of these guys back to safety, move Collins down to linebacker, we might be able to patch 2 holes up with players already on the roster.
Yes. I mean, I'm sure anything's possible at this point in the game, you know.
Anything is possible.
Yeah, but look, that's not going to happen. I'm kind of intrigued though, because I'm kind of curious as how Landon Collins would react to such a move.
It's happened before.
He would do the same thing he's doing right now. He led y'all in tackles in this game with 10 tackles. Why is the safety making tackles? Because the guys up front ain't.
Yeah, I mean,
you know.
So
right.
and you know, you gotta think on some Harbaugh vibes too. I feel like because design a scheme that works for the players. If Landon Collins is better served as a cat back style type strong safety that's in the box, do it.
Yeah, because
he's coming out with the same game plan as vanilla. The Redskins, the Giants, the Eagles. Try anything.
Intriguing. I mean, Collins took a horrible angle on that Robert Woods touchdown.
What angle? Yeah. What do you mean? He wasn't there. That's all it was. He was late. I mean, Fuller. Yeah. It was over top safety. Fuller let him go, and Collins was nowhere to be found.
And he knew he messed up on that one. He knew it. He knew right away he made the wrong read on that.
They finally benched Abke though for some point in that game.
For who?
What's the other dude's name? Last name begins with a C.
Curl. He's been playing slot corner for us, bro.
Yeah.
That's another reason that Moreau's not seeing the field. Cameron Curl's he's a cover dude. He's legit.
You see that tackle Jimmy Moreland made though?
Oh yeah, Moreland had a good tackle.
What's up with Jimmy Moreland, man? Why he ain't getting no love?
He's getting more playing time than Fabian Moreau, which is crazy.
Well, yeah.
You love Moreland because don't get me wrong, he wraps up, he tackles, but he leaves a lot to be desired when he's on the outside in coverage.
He's coming from a D3 school,
and he's risky. He plays cornerback really risky, which sometimes you could see reward from that too. I mean, you saw that in week 1 when he got his interception, climbed the ladder. But in the NFL, you can't play like that. That's not a winning recipe.
Authentic, man. Don't you feel like that's changed a lot? I remember so much back in like the 90s, early 2000s, cornerbacks breaking on balls, trying to get those pick sixes and like whiffing completely, having receivers just running free. I feel like you don't see that as much anymore. I think they're playing more like you got to play discipline. It's not worth it.
Yeah, because the speed now is on a whole nother level. You see more wide receivers catch that slant and just go now and get, big chunks of yardage. Whereas back in the day, I feel like that wasn't a major way to get yards. People were getting yards through the air actually with the ball, throwing those fly routes and those seam routes. And the post route was the #1 route in the 90s. Jerry Rice was killing people with the post back in the day.
And that was off his footwork too. I mean, he was obviously fast, but his footwork was just like unreal.
Yeah, great route runner, man. The Redskins could use a little bit of that right now because, like Tim said, man, they lacking weapons, man. They just don't got the weapons, and when you got a quarterback out there, don't matter who the quarterback is, if he really don't got no weapons and nobody throw the ball to, I mean, you got to rely on him to make the plays with his legs or something, and these aren't those style quarterbacks. You saw it with Kyle Allen. When he tried to make the play with his legs, it turned into a disaster for him, unfortunately. But I'm looking forward to seeing him play again, man. Here's the funny thing, in talking with Troy on Facebook about this earlier today, I looked up his games, and it just seems like Kyle Allen has played so many more games than Haskins, but he only has 3 more games.
Yeah,
Haskins
and they pretty much their stats are pretty much the same as far as like ratio of touchdown interception. Kyle Allen's got a couple more yards.
With more games, he's got a better touchdown to interception ratio just by a little bit. Which
it's like 19 to 18, and Haskins I think had a better touchdown to interception ratio, but he threw less passes. Kyle Allen has I believe he had 19 touchdowns and 18 interceptions.
16 going into this game.
And then Haskins was right around there.
Haskins was what was it, 9 and 8 or something like that?
12 and 10, something like that.
Yeah.
Kyle Allen won 6 games in a row when he came off the bench last year, or 2 years ago for Carolina, whenever it was last year.
Yeah,
so,
and that's when you saw his best play. He looked good. He looked good back then, man. I thought he could be a guy, and I think that was the reason why they felt like they could get rid of Cam, even though that process took a lot longer than it should have. I feel like they thought they could get rid of Cam early on when Kyle Allen started balling. They're like, oh, well, we got this guy on the bench. He kind of can play, and we can get rid of Cam. I still think that you should pull the trigger on Cam, man. That would have been the move if they wanted to win now.
Facts.
Right, which who knows? Your boy on Facebook, is it Troy Haskins? Because I know Troy Haskins, which is ironic.
Yeah, it's Troy that used to live next door to y'all, Quincy.
His last name's Haskins, bro, which is hilarious.
Maybe that's why, man, that might be his cousin on the low.
Man, if you talk to him again, tell him I say what's up. I haven't seen that guy in years.
I will, man. He tunes into the show a good bit, too. I'll definitely make sure to let him know, though.
All right. Do we have a commercial break today, Beard, or do we want to get straight into trivia?
Let's go to trivia because we're at 6:40. Let's try to get off air by 7.
Yeah, games kick off at 7 o'clock, right?
7 o'clock. That's what I saw.
All right. Chat.
Oh,
Put
man.
down your beers, put down your drinks, put your thinking caps on. Awthentik and the Beard present trivia time. The best time of the week to show you our knowledge or lack thereof. The Beard.
This is like cocktail music, I think.
I got 3 questions today, and I had a request. Awthentik texted me, said, can you do questions about backup quarterbacks and teams starting badly and making the playoffs?
So I feel like he has an advantage now because I'm sure he was probably researching that stuff at some point in time.
Not at all. I was writing paragraphs on the New York Giants and Cowboys game. So, yeah, I'm probably not going to get these right.
Well, I mean, one of the ones you suggested was pretty much already a question, and I was like, well, I'm not going to ask that because I know he's going to know the answer. There's no doubt. You talked about it earlier in the week, too, so I was like,
Okay.
All right. 3 questions tonight, chat. Jump in if you know. I'm going to expect Awthentik and the Beard to not look down at the answers and kind of give me their own organic stuff here.
Tim didn't give me no shout-outs in the chat, man. I don't even know who's here today.
Oh, man. Yeah, I know. I've been highlighting everybody, though. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Tommy and Tracy. They're watching us on Twitch right now.
Hey, Tommy, I need to get with you, man. I see you. I get the emails about your Call of Duty streams, and I want to pick your brain a little bit on a couple things, too, man. So I need to get with you, man. I'm about to send you an email here next couple days, man.
And, we got some international viewers. My man David checking in from Ireland. And
what's up, David?
Jimmy, old school, and we got all the Giants fans in here too.
Hey.
Shout out to Nerding Out Sports.
2017. There you go. Thank you for that. Evan Ingram. Silly pick.
I saw David in here. I saw Christian, you're in here.
Oh, what up, Chris?
So,
what
yeah,
up, Monique? I see Monique in the building. Mark Kukowski in the building.
Mark Kukowski, Sketchy Mark is here. There goes Tracy right there.
All right, there we go. Now we know who he's rapping with. You know what I'm saying?
Called him Sketchy Mark. Was that used to be Mark Kukowski's nickname?
Oh, yeah.
That was his fraternity. So at his fraternity, they all had nicknames, and his nickname was Sketchy because he came from like where we come from. So nobody could understand what the heck he was saying half of the time. And I mean, it's Mark. He's not sketchy, but he sounds like he could be sketchy.
He was sketchy behind that wheel back in the day. I remember every time I ride in the car with him, I'd be like, bruh.
I seen Kokowski do some wild stuff, man. I mean,
Yeah,
I
bro.
seen him roll that window down to Earl while he's
All
driving
right.
on the Beltway.
Hey, you know what? His wife might be in here tonight watching with him. Let's go ahead and keep those Kokowski stories for later. You got
We can do a whole podcast on those.
She knows the goon that she's with.
You're right about that, Authentic. There's no doubt about that.
Shanti.
What up, Shanti? What up, boy?
All right, let's do this.
All right, let's get it, Scotty.
All right, let's get into it. First question. I actually wrote a title for this question. It's called The Comeback Kid. Which current NFL head coach and longtime backup quarterback to Jim Kelly in Buffalo engineered a 32-point comeback victory in a 1992 wildcard game and also led the University of Maryland to a 31-point comeback victory in 1984? That's the biggest comeback in NFL history and the second biggest comeback in FBS history. That's impressive, you ask me.
Who's going first? Can I go first?
No, we can't start with you. We got to start.
Come on, start with him, man. I need,
No, start with Authentic, because last week y'all started with me and I had to answer.
I called the shots here. We're starting with Authentic.
That was not last week. Last week, I was just cleaning up last week, giving the Giants fans the Otis Anderson and all that.
I got an Otis Anderson autograph, though. That was pretty cool.
All right, man, I don't know the answer to this question, man. You
head
said
coaches,
current
David. There's 32. There's
current
32
head
of
coach,
them. You know it's not Ron Rivera. You know what I mean? You know it's
and he
not.
backed up Jim Kelly.
It's not Joe. Mm-hmm. Should have been watching those. You were like, what, 15, 16 years old?
I got nothing for you. I don't know
the name of that coach. Who does he coach for?
Taking the L on this one. I don't know.
I don't know you. Okay.
To save time, I'll take an L on this one.
I'll take Frank Reich for 400, please.
It's only worth one, but that is correct. Take it down the beard. It is Frank Reich, head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. Guy was a longtime backup. I'm sure he made good money doing what he did. But two of the biggest comebacks in football history, college and the NFL. That's pretty cool if you ask me. Like, that's a good stat right there.
That's a fire stat. I like that.
Authentic, man, I got a question.
Up in the beard.
You're going to get this one too, buddy. Pro Football Hall of Famer Kurt Warner supplanted which St. Louis Rams quarterback after a preseason injury in 1999?
Is this my turn first?
This is Trent Green, but
Yeah.
I also want to say that there was a second stringer that was there too that got hurt as well.
The rules don't apply to Authentic? Are you just answering at will now? What's going on? We try to keep this. I know the music's in your ears and you're feeling excited, but let's try to keep it.
I'm trying to move, man. I'm trying to move.
The beard, man. You got to answer?
Trent Green.
Plus
Trent
10
Green.
this one right here. You got his answer.
All right.
The wheelchair on
I
him.
got a little excited with the wheelchair.
You do love you some trivia time, the beard. You love some trivia time. No doubt about it. Third question. You guys ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. This is a two answer question. So there's a possibility of 2 points. Authentic, we're going to start with you.
Okay.
Name the only two teams. Name the teams in NFL history to qualify for the playoffs with a losing record.
Oh.
Only 1983 season or 82 was a lockout shortened year, not including that one. I'm only talking about full 16 game slates. Before somebody in the chat gives me a 2-4 answer.
Let me go. I'm gonna go San Diego Chargers. Is one team from each conference?
No, they're both from the same conference.
Okay, so I'm gonna go Chargers, and I'm gonna go with Miami Dolphins. I don't feel too good about that.
Okay.
Beard?
I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers and the Seattle Seahawks.
Tie.
The beard smashing tonight. 2 of 2 on the final answer. That was an epic whooping right there, Authentic. Man. What happened?
Yeah, he looked like he was reading, young, but it's all good.
You
saw
asked
me
for
like-
these. When he starts doing the hands, you can see his hands type because he types like an old person, like one at a time. Seeing you, the bear. We watch you, buddy. And integrity is a big part of our trivia time. Without integrity, we have nothing. Right?
Facts.
All right. The Authentic, you got to come back next week, man. That's an ugly one.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I clean sweep last week, so you win
And I
some,
know-
you lose some, but you live to fight another day.
You live to fight. We used to use these.
We-
Boy. Yo, you remember Mike Swan posted that video from LA where some guy got beat up outside a bar and then some guy gave him like a speech. He was like, "Oh, you definitely lost that fight." Hit him.
Oh, yeah, I was out there. I was out there. That was the last time I visited Swan.
You were in the video. That's
yeah, yup.
Bruh. I died.
That was bad. He was talking, yo, don't be too tough out here in these streets, bro. It's always somebody tougher. I told my nephew that today. It's always somebody tougher.
I'm too old to be tough.
Facts.
All right, we got one more recap to talk about, and then we're going to let you guys get to kick off. We're 13 minutes away. I'm still trying to remember the teams. I know it's Tennessee, and who are they playing tonight?
Buffalo
Bills and Josh Allen, right? Not Kyle Allen.
Yeah,
yeah, that was yours.
We're actually gonna do a pick and a score for that game too. So we definitely gotta get this last one in. Awthentik's New York Giants. They took on the Dallas Cowboys. They lost. It was a score of 37-34. This was the absolute embodiment of a Pyrrhic victory for the Dallas Cowboys. Awthentik in the beard, best division of football. We got to send our condolences out to Dak Prescott. He suffered a dislocation compound fracture of his right ankle in the third quarter. Carted off the field. He had surgery the same night. They're talking about a 4 to 6 month rehab before he's back on the field. Tough for the guy. He's on a 1-year deal right now. He did get franchise tagged. So hopefully it doesn't mess with his money or his career too much. But, we're sending out our thoughts and prayers to you, Dak. Hope you get better so you can get back on the field so our individual teams can beat you. By all accounts, he's one of the NFL's good guys. So it's a tough break for everybody. Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket, ex-Cincinnati Bengal, is now the guy in Dallas. He actually had a decent game when he was in there, led Dallas down. They kick a field goal as time expired. Greg Zuerlein to finish off the Giants. Awthentik, man, I didn't talk about the Giants at all because I'm going to leave that all to you. Tell me what you felt about the game. Danny Dimes had another turnover. Didn't look awful. You guys were in it to win it. I mean, I felt good about it. What did you see?
Yeah, man, I was definitely feeling good about this game up early. We did a couple things well, man. I think Daniel Jones looked really good on third downs. He was 7 of 13. 20 of 33 for 222 yards is pretty decent, but no touchdowns again for the kid, man. That's really tough. And we got the one fumble, which that looks bad on the stat book for him. But if you saw the play, our rookie left tackle, Andrew Thomas, man, just completely whiffed on the block. Daniel Jones probably had about a good second and a half before they came climbing down on him and forced a fumble that got picked up and scored a touchdown on that. I think one of the major things in this game, I'm not one to blame anything on the referees, but I will blame something on the penalties here. I mean, the Giants, 8 penalties for 81 yards is just unacceptable on a team with Joe Judge. It cost us 2 touchdowns, and one of them was a major penalty on Cam Fleming, who didn't get set on the edge of the line on an amazing fake field goal touchdown to Evan Ingram. The Giants pulled out every stop they had here. We were running reverses. We were doing flea flickers in this game. We were doing all kind of things trying to win this game. Devonta Freeman, man, continues to look good. And I feel like along the stats, it doesn't shine as much as it really does during the game. But every time he's touching the ball, he's getting positive yards, that's what you want to see out of a running back, especially a running back that we signed off the streets. But unfortunately, the Giants only averaged 3.3 yards per carry, which isn't good. And I think that the real difference maker in this game was on the other side of the ball with Zeke Elliott, the 19 carries for 91 yards and 2 touchdowns. At any point in this game when they wanted to rely on a for sure kind of play, they went to Zeke Elliott and ran the ball. The Giants were off balance all day on defense, I feel like, because Zeke was getting positive runs, getting 9 yards a clip here. I mean, just like against us, which when they would go to pass, you would see it in our secondary that we were just off balance very crucially. Even when they were down 17-3 in this game, man, the Cowboys still continue to run the ball with Zeke. The luxury of having a solid running back in the NFL is just, I mean, you can't win.
And he showed out. He showed out big time. 20 for 91, 2 touchdowns. I mean, we've been giving a lot of grief the last couple of weeks, but he definitely showed out.
Yeah, he showed out, man. And he's got 4 games this year, didn't get 100 yards, or 5 games now, I want to say, without 100 yards. But the thing is, I was telling people this, man, he's averaging 4.6 yards a carry, man. So even when he has a game like last week where he only has 12 carries, it's still effective because they're running the ball and they're able to set up the pass and keep teams off balance. 17-3, y'all know, Redskins or Washington football team or the Giants, we're down 17-3. We're not running the ball because we don't have a stable running back that you could do that with. And there's not many teams in the NFL that are like that. Fackrell had the amazing pick six, man. I mean, when we get that pick six, he stiff-armed Zeke to the ground.
It was awesome.
I'm looking at the 14-3 lead or 17-3 lead there, and I'm just like, yo, we should be able to win this game. Our defense comes back out after the pick six, stops Dallas to a 3-and-out. Now, this is where you want your quarterback to step it up right here. You get the ball back, you up 17-3,
nail in the coffin.
14-3 there. You got to put that nail in the coffin, man. Instead, the Giants come away with 3 there. I mean, it's so many squandered opportunities in this game, man. You know, and as it looks, you know, we have the control in the first half. You get that fumble, things just completely change, and Dallas is back in the game after the fumble. I mean, it's unfortunate. I like what I saw out of Evan Ingram this game, but I think that the Giants are just a little bit shaky. You know, they don't know if they can depend on him. So, I mean, he only had the 1 catch, but he also had the reverse play for a touchdown. I like what I'm seeing out of him. But like I said, man, the fumble out of Daniel Jones and Andrew Thomas, we got to pin that on both of them. I saw some people on Twitter comparing the similar kind of play that Tom Brady had that was backside pressure the same exact way, and he fumbles on those a lot too. They were showing some examples of that. So Andrew Thomas and Daniel Jones, we got to get that together. I mean, they're both young, so that's the one thing you can look forward to there is that they're both young. But being that we settle for another field goal again with 46 seconds left, and then you allow the Cowboys to just slice up our secondary, come down, and then they score a touchdown on the Philly special. You know, at this point, I'm in my feelings because Tim don't know this, but the whole first half, I'm thinking, you know, we was thinking about going live at halftime, and he's like, you want to go live? It was 17-3. I'll never forget. He's like, you want to go live at the half? I was like, nah, let's pump the brakes, man. I was like, I don't know about the game, and it just don't feel right. Something just didn't feel right to me.
I felt great about the Giants. I thought you guys were great.
I just know that, like, the Giants are, you know, they don't know how to win games. So when you don't know how to win games, it's very easy to fall apart at the end of a game, and we saw that happen in this game. We couldn't stop CeeDee Lamb the whole day, man. 8 catches for 124 yards. I'm surprised he didn't have a touchdown to go along with it. But for the Giants to be down at the half 24-17 in this game is ridiculous.
Crazy.
Because we played an amazing first half, and 2 squandered opportunities really make this game where the Giants are really fall behind at the half, which is just crazy to me. And like I was saying, you know, I had Lil Wayne Go DJ queued up. Because I was like, this might be the game where, you know, my boy Daniel gonna get his touchdown. I could turn up, cue it up. Tim would tell you how when we used to have Odell Beckham, I used to always play the ODB, Ooh Baby I Like It Raw, Shimmy Shimmy Y'all when Odell would score.
I like it raw.
And just get hype. I literally had the YouTube video ready to go the whole game. Almost pressed the button on it the one time when he had the touchdown to Slayton. It comes back off the pick play, off a terrible call, if you ask me, because I see wide receivers run those kind of plays all day.
Horrible.
The wide receiver didn't just run out there and set the block. He ran his route, and he happened to bump into the guy. It did get Darius Slayton open for the touchdown, but then you get the touchdown call back, and Daniel Jones still has what is now 4 games, I want to say, without a touchdown thrown. Slayton kept us in his game late, man. Darius Slayton is a baller when they include him in the game plan for the New York Giants. It's a positive for us. And I think they need to continue to do that. It starts with the run and then Darius Slayton being number 2. You even saw Golden Tate get a couple of catches. I like what I saw from Daniel Jones on third down, man. He was falling back on his back foot, making throws. The kid looked good, and if he could have had some touchdowns to pair along with these statistics, it would have been a good day for the kid. But when it mattered, he couldn't make the plays. Darius Slayton, 8 catches, 129 yards, but he's going to need some help, you know. And I'll go back to Zeke Elliott, man. People still sleeping on Zeke, man. And even with the Giants winning 34-31 late in that game, what did they do? They went right back to Zeke again and got the Giants off balance. And then you got Andy Dalton time because the Giants are off balance now. And he's sitting in his pocket just making these throws. He makes that throw down there to Gallup, and that game's over, man. I mean, the Giants had a chance to win this game. And this is what blew me about Daniel Jones. Awthentik is a major supporter of Daniel Jones because our team drafted this kid. I got all faith in this kid, okay? But he had it set up. 34-34, 2-minute drill. You got a timeout on the board. It's set up for you to go down here. Yo, I started feeling vintage Eli vibes, man.
Stop.
I'm like, yo, I'm literally like, I remember when Eli had these opportunities where they're like 2 minutes left, Eli Manning comes out, trots out on the field, and then 5 minutes later, we're celebrating a win. Y'all know Eli was the comeback king, so I'm a little bit spoiled with that. And to see Daniel Jones go out there, not only not put up the points, not even get us in field goal range to get a chance to kick the ball was super unfortunate for me. And also a terrible management of the clock there at the end. by Joe Judge. It's the one mistake I saw him make in this game. When you get to third down there and the clock's running, you got 40 seconds left. We're not playing against the clock around midfield here. You should have let that clock tick down on third down. That way, Andy Dalton would have had a lot. Tim's over there yawning. Look at him.
No.
That way, you would have had a lot more time, or a lot less time for Andy Dalton to come back down and fry you with that touchdown to Gallup. But that's the story of the New York Giants. And bad football teams, man, you just don't know how to finish out games, man. This defense allowed an expected 400 yards. We forced 2 turnovers. That's a good thing. But in the end, with the quarterback playing the way Daniel Jones is playing, your defense got to step up. And you can't allow a team like the Dallas Cowboys to put up 37 points. I said if the Dallas Cowboys got over 30, this was going to be interesting. They got over 30, and the Giants couldn't finish this game.
Yeah, they gave Devontae Freeman, like you're saying, the bulk of the carries. He got 17. Wayne Gallman only got 5. They had 84 yards combined, but like the yards per carry wasn't really there. And for Daniel Jones to be successful, you're 100% right about that. And the fake field goal touchdown to Evan Ingram, they just don't want your man to be great, Awthentik. They do not want your man to be great. He was so sized, and they were like, actually, that's coming back.
Well, the thing, when you first saw that play, I immediately was like, what are they talking about? But when they showed it from the beginning, from the other angle, he was clearly not set. So that was like
I wouldn't go with clearly. That's a call that they let go all the time. It's literally a fraction of a second before he put his hands down.
I mean,
bad call, Awthentik?
Bad call. He's back. He's not only is he backside, he's the farthest man backside.
There was some bad calls in that game. Don't get me wrong, but technically, I mean, the one major bad call was the pick call. I mean, that was a really just. There's no doubt about it. No questions asked. They shouldn't have thrown the flag on that play. The other one that stood out to me was the non-call on the hold on, I think it was the long play to Gallup, right?
No, it was on a run to Ezekiel Elliott on third down. Marcus Golden ended up calling the face mask that got them the first down on Marcus Golden, even though the holding was on him. And then right after that on first down, you got another hold on Marcus Golden coming in on some pressure on Andy Dalton where he completed his pass. I mean, just I ain't one to blame it on the refs.
Yeah, I'm not blaming it on the refs.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying you are. I'm saying for me, I'm not one to blame it on the refs. So for me, that's not an excuse why the Giants didn't win this game. You know, you got to put your players in better position to make the plays where the referees don't have to make that call. And on the one of them, he had his hand on the flag and didn't throw it, you know? So it's all good. You know, at the end of the day, you got to have your team in better position and your players got to have more mental capacity to know when you're running a fake field goal, get up there and get set immediately.
Oh, Polar Knight, that's an amazing comment. The evolution of beards. Authentic down to me. That's great. I love that comment.
No bull.
it was They want to know about the hoodie.
Oh, the hoodie is my homie Doyle. His company is called Enemies Forever. It's a local-based company. I got this from him a couple years ago, man. If you want to check him out, you can check out Enemies Forever on Instagram. And they got some dope pieces, man. He's blessed me with a bunch of stuff. He blessed me with this one too, man. Shout out to Doyle one time on that.
The beard, man. So we got a comment or a question from Carlos. He's asking about Dak. When he comes back, 4 to 6 months is the timetable we're hearing.
Glad he asked that.
Think Dallas, this is for both you guys. You think Dallas is going to shoot him another franchise tag, give him a long-term deal? Like, what's in the future for Dak Prescott?
I don't think. I mean, it's super unfortunate, and I wanted to. I know that we were short on time today, but I did want to make it a point where it's like, these are the situations, right? When you see fans that get upset about players holding out for contracts and wanting to renegotiate and things like that. These are the cases. These are the instances why they do those sort of things, because, he's on a rookie deal right now.
No, he's not.
Year.
He's
before
not.
This franchise. That's why I said before this franchise tag this year, he's on a rookie deal. Okay, yeah. And these players, they have these situations where it's like one play can change their entire career. So like they have to do what they can to get paid when they can, because football is not like any other sport. They will cut you if you're hurt. You will not get paid. Your contracts are not guaranteed. So, next time that a fan decides they want to criticize a player for holding out or wanting to renegotiate their contract. Think about situations like this. It's terrible. It's completely unfortunate. I feel so. I mean, all of us who are watching that, no matter who your team is, had a pit in your stomach when that play happened. You know, it was just downright it was horrible. Now, to get to the question, it's a business. You know, they said they're going to take care of them. They said that their futures with Dak. I don't think he gets the franchise tag, and I don't think he gets a long-term deal. I think they give him a 1-year deal because to see how he is physically before.
You think he'll accept that deal, though? Why would he accept a 1-year deal?
I understand that, but this is what I think the Cowboys are going to do. Because if you franchise tag him, you're still paying him $40-something million a year, not necessarily knowing how he's going to come back off of that injury, right?
Right. It's a 1-year deal. It's a show me deal.
And exactly. Money, right? And the second thing is that are you really going to invest in a long-term deal on a quarterback who's coming off of an injury like that? So I'm just thinking that it's specifically from a business standpoint of the Dallas Cowboys. I think that they offer him a 1-year deal.
I mean, I forgot the question for real, and who it was from, but I know it's about Dak's deal. So, like, this is the thing, man. Jerry Jones and the rest of them over there in that organization, I think this is pretty schemy and why they franchise tagged him in the first place. We all know Dak Prescott last year, I mean, he almost put up 5,000 yards. He deserved the money. He should have went in this year, and if they were faithfully invested in that quarterback, i.e. Eli Manning, who even when he wasn't playing well, still got the deal. I mean, Dak should have got the deal last year, and this shouldn't even be a thing. Instead, you got this guy coming back next year off an injury, and he's got no salary at all. So I don't think we see Dak with the Cowboys because I don't think he signs a 1-year deal. Look at what Teddy Bridgewater just did with Carolina Panthers. He just signed like a $60 million deal for like 3+ years, coming off of one of the most horrific leg injuries we've ever seen. They talked about this injury with Dak Prescott and how people respond to that injury. And from what I'm hearing is when you get this kind of a fracture on an ankle, the fracture is because of the dislocation, and plenty of players have came back to full strength off this injury. They talk about Gordon Hayward on the basketball court, and they say Alex Smith's injury, the reason why he had so much time to recover was because it was higher on the leg
and the infection and all that.
So I don't think you see Dak Prescott in a Cowboys uniform again unless they decide, we're going to give him the money, because he's going to come in the next year like, y'all told me last year you're going to franchise tag me and then pay me. He's worth the money. Deshaun Watson got the money. Dak Prescott need to get the money.
You're right. If like the Bears right, and they're gonna offer him a 1 or 2 year deal for like $20 million, he's like, peace out. There's a bunch of teams that would give me $30 million right this second. So if they offer him that kind of deal, there's no way he stays. I mean, hopefully they talk about a franchise tag and say, listen, you come out and you're even 80% of what you were, we're gonna get you that long-term deal. But just to play it safe on both ends, because like the Bears said, it is a business. We're only gonna cut you that 80% up front. Man, shout out to my man Tony Romo. Did you guys see this dummy during the game? Dak goes down, his toes are pointing sideways, and Romo's like, well, you just really hope it's a bad cramp. Like,
because at first he was grabbing the calf, and then
his toes were pointing sideways. Like if you're looking at the leg, you're like,
I feel you. He probably didn't see the foot yet. Because when I saw Dak grab the calf, I'm like, and I heard Tony Romo say that, I'm like, a cramp. What I was hoping was it was some kind of dislocation where he could recover from it. Something like what happened to Patrick Mahomes on that Monday night, where you thought he tore the ACL when in fact he didn't. But I think the real question here is if the Cowboys don't re-sign Dak Prescott, what do they do at quarterback? Because it doesn't look like they're going to get a top draft pick here. They look like they'll probably be somewhere towards the top of the division, So I mean, if you get a 6th, 7th pick, do you draft a quarterback and start him immediately on a team that's kind of offensively at least ready to win right now? I don't think it's a winning formula unless Andy Dalton comes out here and balls completely.
This is the best team Andy Dalton's ever had in his career. So offensive,
this would be the best. This would be the best offense for any quarterback.
Did Andy Dalton ever ball out with? Yeah. Did Andy Dalton? Did Cinco?
He made Pro Bowls. He went to Ocho Cinco.
Did he ever play with Ocho Cinco? Was Ocho Cinco ever over there with AJ Green?
That was just Palmer, I think, right?
I don't think so.
They might have overlapped a little bit, but regardless. I mean, AJ Green and Dalton, that was a sweet little combo, and they had Jay
It
Gruden.
was a nice combo. This is some of AJ Green's best years, man. But that's what you're banking on right now. If you're the management in Dallas, I think, is that Andy Dalton can come in and ball out, and then you sign him to a pretty cheap deal.
Yeah,
and
they did draft a
say what to
quarterback
Dak
here.
Kick rocks.
Yeah, you
said
let him go.
Stephen Jones came out and said that Dak is their quarterback, is their future.
Yeah,
he came out and said that.
Of course,
but
bro.
listen,
Sounds good, right?
I don't pay no attention to what nobody say in the NFL no more.
In any professional sport. They were saying that when KD went down in the NBA. Like Golden State's all like, yeah. Deuces.
Yeah,
holla at y'all.
Peace out. What can we trade you for right now?
I know, right? It's kind of ridiculous. It's going to be interesting to see how that Dak Prescott thing plays out because with Kirk Cousins, did y'all franchise tag him twice?
Yeah.
Twice.
We wasted so much money on him. That was the straight Bruce Allen blunder.
I read a good article this morning. It was Kirk Cousins. They talked to him after the Dak injury, and he said he talked to Dak on a personal level. They must have forged some type of relationship when they played in the NFC East together. But he talked to Dak. He said, listen, man, take these one-year deals. You're going to make a crazy amount of money, and you always have a chance to renegotiate, but you have to take out insurance. You have to have insurance on yourself. Kirk Cousins, during all those years with Washington on those one-year deals, those franchise tags, he was insured. So if he ever went down with an injury like this, Kirk Cousins was going to get a significant sum of money. He said, I don't know if Dak took my advice, but that was the advice I gave him, which is like, that makes a lot of sense to me.
That does make a lot of sense. And Kirk Cousins came up. He made a lot of money, man. And then he signed that major deal with the Vikings. And I mean, I guess you could kind of say he's underperformed his contract a bit. But these quarterbacks, it just seems that the next one in line just seems to get paid the most. And that's just what it is. You're looking at Deshaun Watson in kind of the same kind of bubble right now. Like, you better start balling, bro, or that money they paid you is not looking too good.
Because Dak was the next guy up. There was no doubt about it. I mean, I think
he was about ready to be the highest paid player in the National Football League.
No, I don't think they was going to give him Patrick Mahomes.
You don't think
money.
they was going to give him Patrick Mahomes money?
But I do think he was going to get
$400 million.
Well, this is my question.
Crazy.
This is my question. If he would have continued on the pace that he was on this season, right? Say he smashed all those records that he was on pace to break. Cowboys make it to the playoffs, win the division. You don't think he has a chance to get close, if not more than the Patrick Mahomes?
You talking about the like if he would have got to like 6,900 yards or whatever? I just don't see that happening. Play would have kind of fell off just a little bit. NFL teams get more tape on what you're doing, and
Jerry
things
Jones
changing a little bit.
Jerry Jones would be like, I have the PFF rankings for your wide receiver number 1, 2, 3.
Right. That's exactly what he would have did, yo. That's exactly what he would have did. But I do think that Dak Prescott was going to get more money than Deshaun Watson got. I think it would have been somewhere in between what Watson got and what Patrick Mahomes got. But we know it's clear Patrick Mahomes he looks like he should be getting paid the most money in the NFL. And I can't remember what the deal was with Russell Wilson, but yeah, he deserves that money too. And it's amazing to see quarterbacks get the money and continue to ball out in their two cases. I'm loving that. And I wish the best for Dak, man.
Yeah.
I was on the Dak Prescott train this year. All the Giants fans know y'all hated me for it. But Dak Prescott was balling, and dating back to last year, he was balling, man. And I think he's a proven quarterback. They should have just gave him the money this year. I'm a superstitious kind of guy. Maybe you give him the money and he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We don't like the names on the front of the jerseys or the teams you represent, but, we do develop kind of love for players in the division. And Dak Prescott's a guy I think all NFC East fans have always rooted for since day one.
Yeah.
You guys want to pick this game tonight before we sign off?
Yeah, I think we probably about to kick off or have kicked off here.
We'll do it anyway. I don't know the score. I haven't looked at it.
This should be an interesting game. Josh Allen coming in super hot, man. 12 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And his completion percentage is what he has improved on this year. That what people were skeptical about him in the draft and coming out as a young quarterback didn't have too much faith in his accuracy. But he's at 71% on completions this year. I think a lot of that has to do with Stephon Diggs, man. I think that this game's going to be one of his more uglier games this year, at least to date. I think they're going to struggle, but I do think the Bills are going to come out on top. I think it'll be 24-21 Bills. Titans were going to control the clock, run the ball a lot, but it won't be enough in the end.
Yeah, as long as John Brown doesn't put up like 30 fantasy points, I'll be cool with that. The Beard, man, you got your boy Tannehill and the Titans, or are you rolling with Allen and the Bills?
Man, I'm high on the Bills. I think I might just be thinking that because I need him to in order to beat Awthentik in fantasy football.
Good counsel.
Oh, yeah. What you need, like 30?
Yeah, I think Diggs has like 160 yards and 10 catches, 2 or 3 touchdowns. I think the Bills tonight, yes. I think the Bills
season stats.
I think the Bills come out and mollywop the Titans tonight. I think the Titans have some issues. They've won very sketchy in their 3 wins. No real we're the Titans that went on that playoff run sort of victories this year. I think the Bills are going to win by 2+ touchdowns. So I think it's going to be 31-14 Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, Tennessee's they're COVID ravaged over there. Like they said they're all free, but who really knows? They probably got some players that are going out there with a little bit of coughing tonight, a little bit of congestion in the pulmonary area. I got to go with the Bills. Josh Allen looking like an MVP candidate this year. It's going to be low scoring, though. Give me Carlos's -3 Bills, and I'm going under. I'd say it's going to be about 28-21. I think Titans are just going to be they're not going to be anywhere together. They're just getting people healthy. If you're trying to get a team healthy, you can't focus on football.
Is this game going to count to our overall record?
What do you guys think?
It should.
Yes,
it should.
Wait, well, we're all in agreement, so it won't affect anything.
And I was going to say, I'm going to actually renege on my pick here. I'm going to take the Titans 24-21.
Definitely going to count now.
Yeah, Buffalo's undefeated, right?
Yeah, they're both undefeated.
They're both undefeated.
Yeah, I'm going with the Titans. I take that back.
All right. Let's send them off then. We know we got a game that's kicking off right now. The Beard, send them off. Right.
I just want to thank everybody. Shout out to Tommy and Tracy on Twitch holding it down for us. Don't forget we are on Twitch, Facebook, Periscope, and the YouTubes. While you're here, please do us a favor, hit the thumbs up. We're getting close to some milestones here, so if you can do us that favor, it'd be great. Share the page with everybody. We are getting ready to give you guys some more new and exciting stuff, so please stay tuned. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We appreciate all the love and support. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will be back to our regularly. That's it.
Right? Why you say that regularly like you say that regularly?
We'll be back on our regular scheduled time. It's a lot easier.
There you go.
At 7:00 p.m. on Thursday night. So, yeah. Enjoy the game. It's football on a Tuesday.
Football on Tuesday. Authentic, man. Give him some love.
Can't be mad at that, man. Definitely looking forward to seeing this game tonight. Also, man, we got to check us out on Thursday because the preview for this week, we got the Washington football teamers going up against my New York Giants. This is going to be a great one. Make sure to tune in 7 p.m. We might go a little bit longer than normal because we don't got a Thursday night game this week. So, maybe we'll tap in some fans or something and get some people on camera, do it up a little differently maybe for this one so we can enjoy this Thursday without football. But enjoy your Tuesdays with football, man. I appreciate everybody tuning in and subscribing to Awthentik in the Beard. And shout out to my man Scotty Boomz for holding it down.
Always.
It is Giants week. Are we in D.C. or are we in New York?
We're in New York, I think, for this first one.
I was going to say, we got to do our tailgate. We're just going to go to FedEx and be like, listen, you got to let us in. This is something that we do.
Tradition.
Doing the show from the tailgate.
I wonder if we could do that.
I doubt it.
Dan Snyder? Come on, man. He'd be like, yeah, $1,000.
Right. We're going to tailgate in your backyard.
Hey, look, we do this podcast. It's called Awthentik in the Beard.
Yeah, right.
It'd be pretty awesome if you let us do it from the front steps of FedEx.
Billy watches our season 1 episodes and sees me fashion dude, so that'd be a wrap on that real quick. Thanks again for tuning in tonight. Enjoy your Tuesday football. Hope you have a great hump day tomorrow. We'll see you guys on Thursday for our preview show. Giants are going down. Washington football team. Best division in football. Have a good night.
Peace, y'all.